So, here I am, making a video response to Dan Mills and to all the atheists that believe I failed epically. Again, I am not opposed to admitting failure. But did I fail epically, really? Thinking about the atheists here on YouTube and why they engage in this debate. Now, I know why I debate. I know why I do, because I'm passionate about my faith, my belief system, my worldview. I believe it. And I'm trying to defend it. I believe there's such a thing as truth, that truth is knowable, that there's objective, real truth in this world. There's something concrete we can stand on. With Dan Mills, his argumentation is from this line that hell is immoral. When you make a statement like that it's immoral, you're depositing the concept that there is a moral absolute, that there actually is a moral right and wrong, something we can point to and we can all agree on. And that's what I'm supposed to get. I'm supposed to get the moral absolute to the argument that hell is unjust, immoral. But as a Christian, I believe that hell, the doctrine of hell, the biblical model of hell, is a necessary component to a righteous and holy, just God. Without hell, God is not just. He's a powerful being, but he's not powerful enough to punish people who have violated his laws. He's powerless to carry out justice. And if you follow that logic, then he's really not God. He's really not God. And people say, well, then God is a tyrant because he's punishing finite beings infinitely. See, I got it. Did you hear that? That's what the atheist is trying to trip GEERUP into, admitting that God is an infinite being punishing finite beings for infinitely. And the problem with this is that God created us soulish beings which have souls that will last forever. Now that's a gift, and yet it's also a curse. It's a curse for those people who defy the living God and want to spend the rest of their eternity going further and further and further away from God. That's a curse. That's not a good thing. But it's a blessing for those who love God and want to go closer and closer to Him, want to be received into His presence, who want to be forgiven. So, hell is a necessary component for a righteous God. And I'm not the judge. You're not the judge. God is the judge. So I'm not judging any atheist's eternal destiny. That's not my responsibility. That's not been my job. That's not what I'm, or any Christian for that matter, has been given to do here on earth. We should wait and suspend our judgment on people whether they're going to hell or not. That's not to say that I'm not to judge righteously whether an act is good or bad. I can judge righteously and say, now that act was evil, that act is good. We're all supposed to be called to make righteous judgments. You see? Now, just because God says we are free doesn't mean that we're free to do anything. We're free in the sense that I can do something, but that doesn't mean that God gives me the permission to do it. The difference between can and may. Can I go to the bathroom, teacher? Well, I'm sure that you can, Johnny. Oh, may I go to the bathroom, teacher? Yes, you may. You see the difference between can and may? You have the ability to do things, to murder, to rape, to kill, to steal. You have the ability to lie, but are you given the permission? Are you given God's nod of approval? No, you're not. And if you're guilty of lying, stealing, killing, if these things have been done by you physically or in your heart, you're guilty before the living, holy, holy, holy God. And unless there is a payment for that sin, unless there is an escape clause, you're going to pay eternally. Now, the concepts of hell, flames, eternal darkness, eternal separation, all these descriptions we find in biblical text, we find that they're describing something that is metaphysical. It's not in this world. It's in a world to come, in a state to come. Science can't tell us what's inside a black hole. Science can't tell us what's on the other side of a black hole, or how far eternity is. How far does space travel out to? I mean, we barely scratched the surface on these things, so we can't presume to know. And we can't presume to think. It's very presumptuous to think that there is nothing out there. It's just ridiculous to say there's nothing out there. Why does the SETI program spend so much time listening for signs of intelligent life in space? They got a big microphone out there listening and listening for a sign, for a program, for a combination of sounds that would give them evidence of intelligent life. And yet all around us we have intelligent life. All around us we see signs of design, intelligent life. Now, again, getting back to hell. When we, as created beings, defy the living God, this is the ultimate sin. We're saying, you don't exist, God, when the whole world, the whole universe cries out, He exists. And then we live a life of blasphemous, a life of selfishness, a life of lies and deceit. We deceive ourselves and we deceive others. And then on Judgment Day, and that's what we're talking about here, Judgment Day, we stand before the living God, and He rolls out our life righteously and lets us see who we really are. And we stand there and we have no way of escape. There's no way to defend yourself. All your feeble atheistic arguments are going to fall flat in the presence of the all-powerful God. That is why God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whomever believes in Him shall have eternal life. You see, God loved us so much that He provides a way of escape from this horrendous judgment that is to come. We only have one life, one shot at it. Today is the day of decision. Today is the day to say, I don't know it all. I'm not certain there's no God. And search and see if there's evidence for this creator, this designer. Let me look at my life, personally look at my life and examine it and see if I'm as good as I should be. And if you're honest, you know you're not. You know you need some kind of help, some kind of forgiveness, some kind of payment for your sin. You owe a debt that you can't pay, and God is willing and has paid that debt.